insurer.
Now, unfortunately, the OC says that due to these devastating wildfires, chances are high that insurance rates for everyone in the Spokane area will end up going up. However, they do say that how much they go up is dependent on where exactly you live in the county. For now, reporting live in Spokane, Alexandra Conyard, 4 News Now.
Alexander, thanks. And while the insurance booth will remain, the Disaster Assistance Center at Shale Park High School has now closed its doors. Spokane County Emergency Management says it had to move so the high school could prepare for the new school year. Now, for some families, the center was a first stop in the recovery process and a place to connect with people who have been through similar losses. Sonia Sievers, who lost her home in the Gray Fire in Medical Lake about 3 years ago, says that connection helped her most. Her advice is to give yourself some time because the emotional shock may take weeks still to process.
That's really what we need to, as a community, remember that there's an outpouring of support right now, which is phenomenal. But in a month, 2 months, 6 months, people are still going to need that support.
Now, Sievers says that her biggest tip for families with damaged or destroyed homes is to document everything, including the time and date, who you spoke with, what they said, and their contact information. She also encourages families to use all of the community resources that are available to them.
As flames from the Old Trails fire tore through 5 Mile, firefighters weren't the only ones battling the fires.
We looked outside and we were like, what can we do? And when we looked at where the plume was, we were like, this steel needs to come down.
Neighbors jumped into action to save their homes. Some used hoses and shovels to keep the fire at bay. One used his tractor to dig a trench around his property. All of this happening while evacuation orders were in place and firefighters were urging them to leave.
This is my childhood, this is my home, and my life. So I couldn't let it just burn out. I told myself I wasn't going to evacuate until the firefighters evacuated.
Neighbors tell us they credit these men and women for their bravery and hard work. And without them, their homes wouldn't be standing.
Yeah. Which one's yours? Yes, I was part of it.
You bet. A group of homeowners in the Indian Trail neighborhood came face to face with the firefighters they credit for saving many of their homes.
Well, they threw a block party last night for the firefighters as a small way of saying thank you. Our Daniel Purcell was there to capture the emotional event.
It's been a long month of August for people who live in the Westgate neighborhood, with many just now being allowed back to their homes to assess the damage done after last week's fire. But through the ash and rubble, they're banding together to find bright spots in the midst of destruction.
You're sad because you lost them, but you're so happy that no life was lost, not one.
During the peak of the fires, many people were searching for pictures or video that would tell them if their homes were still standing. When someone saw a clip of their home on the news, that provided a glimmer of hope.
Monday morning, I finally made it back, and I ran into Bob, who lives in this house right here. I said, how did our home survive? And he said, my wife saw a video on the BBC of a firefighter hosing down my house. And I said, well, Bob, I'm going to find that firefighter.
That firefighter is Captain Todd Wood, who along with the rest of Spokane Fire District 8 worked tirelessly to save as many homes as they could in the Westgate neighborhood.
Coming back here today, it's bittersweet. There's a lot that we saved, but what is remarkable is seeing this neighborhood coming together, and whether they lost their house or their house is still here, it didn't break their spirit.
That spirit was on full display this evening as neighbors hugged, laughed, and thanked the firefighters, including Captain Todd, for the work they put in to save parts of their neighborhood.
They suffered a lot of losses that night. It was very hard on them to lose this many homes, and many of them expressed thankfulness to be able to see what they saved, to talk to those people, to see those little memories that remain.
As more and more residents begin to return to the Westgate neighborhood, they're describing the feeling as grateful but gutted as they rely on their neighbors to help pick up the pieces and start rebuilding their lives.
If any of us need the other person's help, we're there. We're always there. Yeah. Kind of like a family.
The Westgate neighborhood is a family who survived the fires together and will rebuild their lives together. In Spokane, Daniel Purcell, 4 News Now.
It's just so beautiful. There's so much heartbreak and sadness and grief with all of this, and to find the silver lining of just thanking the firefighters who did so much.
And to be able to, like, have that moment to thank the specific firefighter that helped save your home must be at least a little bit of resolution for these people.
Community. Let me see it.
Your Good Morning Northwest time, 5:09.
Let's check back in with meteorologist Matt Gray this morning, taking a live look outside for us in Hayden. The sun's starting to peek up a little bit.
Yeah, the sun's starting to peek up. Visibility looks good, and you can see thunderheads off in the distance there as we are still trying a couple of thunderstorms around the inland northwest. Tell you what, lots of positives in your forecast today, but still a few things to watch for when it comes to fire danger. Some places still have red flag warnings this morning. We'll take a look at those coming up.
Well, a major shakeup at the White House. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is now stepping down.
Bye.